Saturday morning, episode 38 of Dream Warriors. Morning news and coffee with Peter. Let's just do it. Let's just jump into it. Let's hit the music and rock and roll.
We're the Dream Warriors. We won't dream no more. We're the Dream Warriors. And maybe tonight you'll be gone.
We're back. All right. Saturday morning. It is. It's a little early here. It's like 8 o'clock. I don't know. I've been falling asleep early. Geez, almost every single day this week, and didn't even make it through the NBA Finals game last night. I tried to. I was. I've been excited for this whole series. I think after this series, I am definitely cutting the cord. That's a new sound. The mic's just picked up something. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm probably slicing my cable, and at that point, going to subscribe to the NFL package, and that's really the only thing I care about. Um, I think Better Call Saul has two more episodes left, so I might just hang around for another 2 weeks and wrap that up. Wow, what a amazing series that is. Maybe the best writing on just straight up cable or television. I don't know. It's really hard to find characters as nuanced and deep as what you have at Better Call Saul. But yeah, I think I'm kind of done with cable. But it's a decision on who you choose to do business with. With the high speed internet, that's going to put you in the 60, $70 range. Doesn't matter who you go to. And the reason why you need the high speed is because you need to now become a streaming genie. And so the streaming packages, so if you go to like Sling or what YouTube is offering with their cable package, it's going to be 35, $40. So you're spending 100 plus. You're spending the same amount, and so the real decision comes with it comes from, do you want to do business with Comcast? In my situation, or do you not? Do you want to do business with a company that is mostly user friendly, it's automated, it's designed for you to have control over your account, and you don't deal with bundles? I think the endless bundling is going to it's just going to kill uh, Comcast in the long run. It's not going to be tomorrow, um, but in the long run, when you have like the low information, low frequency users or subscribers, they're the ones that are going to hold on to the packages and the bundles. But as of New Blood, the New Blood's going to be very wise on who they do business with. Oh, and I believe Amazon is marching towards the same type of service that YouTube now has. So, Amazon is pushing it through a complete television, like complete OS where everything, and you go, you log in, you go in, and you just check what you want to subscribe to for like that month, and you can uncheck it the next month. It's that easy. So people are going to choose that over everything. They will divide their attention to do business with people that they feel have their interests at heart. So anyway, so yeah, it crashed out. This like kind of like week two of just really intense strength training, buddied with a lot of carbs, a lot of cows every single day. It poops you, man. Like it beats the living hell out of you. And yeah, so real quick side note. Oh, that's good. That's hot and good. Today's coffee is Mick Cafe, MC Cafe. No, I did not go to McDonald's. I actually, I like their ground coffee. I think it's just very vanilla. Not too bitter. It doesn't have a bite to it, but it is just smooth. It's good. It's good. It's. I would say I would if I compared it to a beer, it might be like the Yingling of coffees, maybe. I don't know. Because it's not awful and it's not great, but I like it. And it comes in these really cool, like yellow canisters that match the coffee station that I keep it in. So that could be a reason too. But yeah, so the NBA Finals last night, I couldn't even. It was like 6 minutes to go. I knew the Warriors had it. The refs had it in for the Warriors last night, and I don't know what the commentators are saying. I don't think they're saying much because it's a little. I guess it's taboo. People want to keep their jobs, and everybody wants NBA paychecks, and they just kind of look away and keep marching on. And you know what? If it's that easy, like it's kind of easy to think that like if there really is a level of like corruption in the NBA, why like how come there's not this outside voice saying something? You know why? Because everyone makes out, and I don't know, or maybe it just is taboo. Maybe like they do know not to talk about it, or whatever. But I'm not sure how a team who had zero foul trouble almost through the entire season, all of a sudden have a game where there's literally a foul every couple minutes. I don't know how that's possible. I'm not saying that they don't even have a bad quarter, a bad 2 quarters, but a entire game where there's no momentum in the game whatsoever, and every time you try and come back and score, which everyone watching, everyone in that stadium knows you can do, and I'm speaking about the Warriors. Everybody knows you can do this, and you can't go more. You can't have more of a 6 point run. There's really something happening, and the NBA. I know European soccer had a very similar scandal of the corruption within the league and of the officiating. Or no, I think the soccer one was a little bit deeper. That was like mafia, almost like like real mafia stuff. But yeah, so just moving on. The NBA did have a referee scandal. The perp. He's not perp, but I just like saying the word perp. The perp had a jail sentence. Like he went off, and it kind of makes you think that, like, how can there be only one? How come there can't be like a deeper level of collusion within these refs? How does one ref make calls and the other refs that are with him? I think the other two are just like, how come they're not like what's happening? Like what are you doing, bro? Like you really get none of that. It's really weird. The game last night seemed to have had a predetermined outcome prior to that contest, and it was frustrating to watch. But you still saw the power of the Warriors over the Cavs. So they could have made up that deficit easily, and they just were not allowed to. And you know what? It's just confusing, and it's frustrating, and the basketball is one of the few sports that can be controlled through the officiating. If you can get to a ref, you can get to a game. Okay, it's harder to do that in some sports. Okay, you can't really do that in football. You just can't, for example. But anyway, so moving on. Yeah, it's just kind of feeling wide awake right now, and kind of woke up to two separate booty calls. I don't know. Maybe they're not booty calls. They're just like late night feelers, and I hate missing those just because I do take pride in being responsive, and some of these girls, they know to test it. They want to test. They'll text me as late as 4 o'clock in the morning because they're maybe at like the Parks Casino or something. Because that's kind of like somewhat of an after hour spot sometimes. If you go to the Barbary, you can bounce right to Parks and just keep it going. So it's a little bit of that uh, far Fishtown side, off of Columbus here in Philly. But yeah, they'll put out feelers and they'll see if I'm available, and they always act surprised. But why would you be surprised if you're putting out a feeler? But yeah, so I missed two of those, and I don't know. I've just been very work driven. Today is a huge day, meaning that I have things to do. It's almost like I have a run to go on my entire scale. I have stuff for the 9 to 5 work, new proposals, kind of like shock and all type thing. I got stuff for eBay. I have stuff for the Instagram accounts. I have drawing to do, cleaning to do, and the cleaning factors in because it is a huge bad eats night. We're going to try and do 3 episodes back to back to back, or three different content types back to back to back, and this is just to continuously pump that show. That's one of the hardest things when it comes to building a YouTube channel. It is the consistency and the frequency. And most people with their schedules, they're lucky to do one video a week. I need this to be about 4 videos a week, all of the same quality and all of a growing quality also. Like the quality constantly needs to be improving, and we need to be adding more cinematic, like effects or like stuff like motion graphics and better, like struggling for better sound, better lighting, making things more complete. But yeah, so and even now, so we're going to do 3. I think I have 4 content types in the can, like ready to go for bad eats now. Still have to. Oh, excuse me. And those still have to be finalized. And that's look. Regular video production is not. It's nothing but time consuming, and it is regular everyday work. And when I'm done here, I'm gearing up to work the F out. My workout partner, John, or not partner, almost like gym buddy, because we're not really working out together too much anymore. Because we're just doing separate things, and I think that's good for both of us. But he canceled yesterday, so that put me out of the gym. Sometimes that mental switch kills me, but I was still feeling beat up, so I wanted to really come back here. Eat. I ate like $30 worth of Chinese food last night, and well, I didn't finish it all, so maybe it was like $25 worth. And yeah, watch the game, do work. I did a good amount of work last night, and crash out, and that's exactly what I did. And living where I'm living in Philly, you wake up to sunshine and birds chirping, and not only do I love that, but Dallas loves it as well also. But yeah, so let's get into a little bit of movie talk. That's why we're all here. Um, I don't have any like info on where the Tom Cruise Mummy movie is right now, which kind of makes me a little bit concerned over that. Oh, and there's I'll get into the reasoning to why I'm concerned. Oh, last night also I forgot. We had the premiere of the Black Panther trailer, and yeah, I mean, it looked good, looked cool. The technology stuff, like the like there's a couple shots of people in like techno armor with techno guns. That looked like a little bit like Stargate Atlantis. That looked like a Sci-Fi Channel thing. But in all, like they gave you like one of the money shots with the cars because Black Panther needs to be chasing cars ever since Civil War. Like that's one of the signature feats of that character now. I do like the setup. I like the setup that Wakanda is hidden and secret. Which it's kind of weird because I thought Wakanda would be on the world stage with their resources and technology, and like I thought that was a little bit of the commentary of it being in Africa, and only in Marvel comic books can something in Africa be on the world stage in a positive way. But no, that's not the case. But yeah, Black Panther trailer premiered last night and looked. I wasn't even expecting it. It I was just doing some work, bouncing around here, listening to the game, and it came on, and I stopped, went right to the television, and yeah, Marvel just keeps chugging. I love it, and it kind of made me think about Wonder Woman again because I can't believe Wonder Woman has become such a huge topic with Dream Warriors. And BTW. I don't know. I'm debating it. Dream Warriors might go, people. It might go. This might become the Peter A. DeLuca podcast. Period, or the Peter pod. It might just become more centrally focused on me because, like the YouTube channel, the consistency relies on me. It relies what we're doing right now. If I was dependent on guests and people popping in to do the show with me, we would be at episode 27 right now. Like the frequency would not be even near, and the range of topics would not even be. So we would have like one guest, like Mark would come in, Norm would come in, and we would have like 20 things to discuss, which makes for a horrible show. And that's a producer in me talking, and me being able to even do what we're doing now with we'll have a little like some thoughts on the Mummy. If Norm comes by tomorrow or Heather comes by tomorrow, we don't really have to talk about the Mummy. The Mummy's been covered. We can go here. And from a programming standpoint, it bottlenecks some of the direction you can go in a very positive way, meaning some things are eliminated and let's go here. And if those things are more challenging, we can jump right on top of them. And you want things to be challenging because the stress that creates on like the cognizant mind, so like is great. The body, the mind wants stress. Give it stress, see what happens. Don't be afraid of it. And like if that can be engineered and controlled, yeah, like that's what this is all about. But let me just finish my Wonder Woman Black Panther point. So all this ballyhoo on Wonder Woman being the first superhero movie or first solo movie, this and that. Great, fantastic. One woman outside of Black Widow though, being the first superpowered focused character to be like on film in the big stage. Black Widow is not superpowered; she's more vigilante or natural weapons. But Marvel did beat DC to the punch by years with Black Widow. But we forget that. And you know what? If it wasn't for Black Widow, we would not have ScarJo and Lucy. And we would not have ScarJo and Ghost in the Shell. And up until that point, you only kind of had Angelina Jolie pushing superhero action movies, and she was not even doing that. You go to Salt with her with that. So you can thank Marvel for raising the awareness and taking the chance and having faith in their source material. So that's that. But no. So what's more important? Like what's the bigger take? What do we really care more about? Do we care more about Wonder Woman just being thrown into the ether just because? And I'm not saying it was not a good movie or it's not watchable. It definitely is both of that. But is that important, or is having Black Panther? Now Marvel is had the first you can say like streaming or serialized or whatever, but like Black Luke Cage, right? They beat everyone to the punch with Luke Cage, make Luke Cage a significant character, okay, through the Netflix series. The Black Lightning CW show, which I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a shot. It just seems pandering and desperate, and that's just my take. But I don't have good I don't have a good radar for television. Okay, so who knows? Okay, Mark loves Riverdale. I think Riverdale is a one of the biggest season fall aparts I've ever seen, like ever. Like Shameless, Homeland, even House of Cards, all have season fall aparts, okay, or series fall aparts. And we'll get, maybe I'll go into that later, not today, another episode. But yeah, so we have Black Panther. It looks like an entire black cast, black director, right? The title is black. No, literally though, the title is black. Always better in black. That's what Wesley Snipes said in Passenger 57. Okay, so there's this moment of like expectation for Black Panther, and where does this moment come from? And now we're really drilling down into the genius of Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe phases 1 through 4. I don't think there's going to be a phase 5. I think they're going to do something different. 1 through 4. The genius of this is we have a character, Black Panther, who literally did nothing in the comic books, similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. Featured, fun, always had like a good reboot start, like a reboot. Whenever they brought the character back, a little bit like Doctor Strange, it was always good for the first like 1 or 2 arcs. If Mark was here, he would go into detail for like 3 hours about that. And they throw him in Civil War. He was not a focal point in the Civil War miniseries, like not at all. He becomes one of the focal points of this movie, not because he's black, not because he's from Wakanda and Africa. He becomes a significant Marvel character based on what you see on screen. And just talking about this makes me want to watch that movie again. It's significant. You are drawn to him in Civil War from his design work. Those cool lines that they put onto the costume. That kind of complement some of the bone structure of the face and the anatomy lines. Fantastic, innovative, risky. Okay, you're drawn to the character from that. His father gets killed. You're pulled into that scenario. You're kind of rooting for him to have revenge against Bucky, and then they crank up his level. He becomes a deadly character. Never before. Never. I don't care who you are. Come in here and tell me. Come sit me down and tell me that you were into the Black Panther prior to Civil War. you're lying, okay? And what we have now, okay, is Marvel saying we have to use this character. We just have to use them. We're running out of characters to use. And we're gonna introduce him here. We're gonna introduce him in Civil War, and we're just gonna give him we're gonna give him some cool shit to do. And that's what we got. We got him as a ferocious, deadly, even compassionate character that has an arc. His arc in that movie, when he doesn't kill Zemo, is near perfect. Look, I've said Civil War is a little bit overrated from the comic book community, from the comic book geek core, the cinephile core. It's a little bit overrated because if you're not in the know, it's really hard to watch that movie, like just for enjoyment. But they took another risk with that. Like putting Spider-Man in Civil War was not a risk. Okay, you can put Spider-Man in nearly anything, even Guardians. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. If you don't think Spider-Man: Homecoming is going to smash like a wrecking and potentially steal the quote unquote summer movie away from Wonder Woman, because right now it's, I guess you would say, it's a little bit of an underdog for that title. Not that there's any type of rating system. The previous show I went through summer surprise movies with Mark, and the previous. So we'll use that as a segue. One of the previous surprises was Brendan Fraser's Mummy. I remember when that came out, that all of a sudden it became a movie to see, and huge anticipation for the Mummy returns, for the Mummy 2, and the introduction of the future highest paid actor in Hollywood, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and kind of being a little bit disappointed with that. I watch it now; I just have fun, but I was younger then. I thought movies, I guess this is a little bit of the norm angle. Is is that movies have an obligation to serve you as the audience. They serve you. So the things that you want better be on screen or else. I think between, I'll say this before I go into my little Mummy take here. When I started Dream Warriors, or just started this process of doing a show like this, just doing it, not even considering it a show at the time. Now I do. The difference is that I'm awake in the AM recording. Before it was like, hey, when you think you can come over, I can do Tuesday. Oh, you can't do Tuesday. What about Wednesday? Okay, Thursday. That's not a show. That's just two guys getting together hopefully with a microphone, and hopefully one of them wants to learn how to use that microphone. So, Dream Warriors started as this idea, like undefined idea, and I thought it was going to take me a little bit longer to figure it out. But when you consider me, Mark the Merc, we had a nickname for him on our last show. I completely forget it. Mark the Merc, quick talking Mark, who is slow talking on the podcast. So we had me, the two Marks, Norm, Heather. Potentially my brother-in-law, because I think he's almost like a adult version of Norm when it comes to his taste in movies. Not saying that Norm's not an adult, he's just older, that's all, a little bit more seasoned. And John. So if you kind of took like a branch from a tree. Like we're kind of just branching out. We're all like extensions of the same root. Okay, um, and this meaning that we're like also at polarized extremes on our intent when we sit down to watch a movie, what we're looking to get out of it, what we bring into it, the work we do around watching a movie, because there is work sometimes, and like everything that makes the experience. Okay, Dream Warriors kind of documents different perspectives of what that experience is with like a good branch of people, and I think that's the power of the show. Something I'm proud of. I think this type of rhythm it's going to be something I'm going to try and maintain for as long as I can, and, until the show pops. So, I think it was Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. We started to get the influencers on YouTube, some of the bloggers, um, you know, pushing out content for Tom Cruise's The Mummy movie. Chapter 1 of the Dark Universe. And hold up here. Let's just I hate how that comes up on the mic. So here we go here. Mummy 2017. All right. So okay, so I was I don't know if we really discussed this. Wow, you know what? I really didn't. Wow, I did not look. See, Chris Stuckman said there were 6 screenwriters. There's actually 3. 6 people involved with the story. Yeah, and like one woman had people. One woman had 4. So whatever. I hate when. So Tom Cruise's The Mummy has 6 people involved with the story. Who cares? Who freaking cares? You don't even know. Like legally by the Writers Guild, some people have to get credit. Period. Okay. It doesn't matter. I don't know why people make that point. Some of the greatest movies of all time had writer rooms. Again, I'll always go to Casablanca. Okay, and let's just look. Let's just, you know, like real quick here. These freaking people. This is what pisses me off. Screenplay. Casablanca has had 3 screenwriters. Okay, and it's based on a previous work. So, okay, The Mummy has 3 screenwriters. Like, it matters. However, 2 of the screenwriters involved with Tom Cruise's The Mummy, I didn't even know this until now. David Keop, Christopher McQuire, 2 of your premier guys. 2 guys that came up in the 90s. The third guy that should be in that stack is Kevin Williamson, the guy behind Scream, and Dawson's Creek. Okay, so music by Brian Taylor, another rock star, directed by Alex Kurtzman, and you may not know who he is. So let's just go into Kurtzman. All right, filmography. Ready? Let's just go into his. He's directing now. Like he, you know what though did not. Okay, the people like us. Okay, so he's mostly co-writer. So the movies that he's co-writing, okay, The Island, Legend of Zorro, Mission Impossible 3, Transformers, Eagle Eye, Watchmen, Star Trek, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, The Proposal, Cowboys and Aliens. Oh, Proposal, he was executive producer. Cowboys and Aliens, People Like Us, Star Trek Into Darkness, Now You See Me, Ender's Game, Spider-Man 2. He's got special thanks in Brothers Grimm. I'm just going straight off the Wikipedia. Now he's The Mummy, Invisible Man, Van Helsing, Vampire Chronicles. Okay, through 2018. So 2018 is going to be, I think, the year that they pop with this Dark Universe. So one of the things, these YouTubers were kind of, again, all saying the same thing. The one outlier, that kind of had, like, not real perspective. He kind of just said he didn't like it was um, the video game nerd. Had like a good 25-minute discussion. I think his one friend is Adam. They're local guys. They're South Jersey peeps, which is awesome. So like, and they didn't like the movie just because it wasn't horror, and again, expectations of being or being connected to the original. I get that. However, and look, I'm discussing and almost reviewing a movie that I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen this movie. I just want to document my expectations going into it because I think they're drastically different than what's already, like, what everyone else is, or drastically different than the opinions of the people that have a large influence. So, what are your expectations going into the 2017 Mummy movie? Okay, it's a horror movie. Okay, it needs blood, needs to be scary. You need to jump a couple times. You need atmospheric music, like that's bad. Like, that's more like a Muppet. But you gotta practice some of my microphone skills. But it's kind of like okay. If you don't get music like that, it's not a horror movie. How was this movie promoted with a freaking airplane, like, stumbling out of the mesosphere, hurtling towards Earth with Tom Cruise getting killed? That was the promo for this movie. They gave us a female mummy. A female mummy or a female Egyptian has always been linked to the mummy mythology, going back to the Universal days, the black and white days. Great. They switched the focus. Perfect. Something different. They gave you two eyeballs or whatever, two pupils, whatever. What that could mean something. I don't know. Okay, so to me, it's being pushed as an action movie. It's an action movie. I don't know how you could expect horror. Maybe horror visual. Like, it looked like they were swimming zombies at one point. Visually, it's a little horror-ish. Um, it so compared to Hellboy, if you're going to compare Tom Cruise's Mummy to anything, so if your expectations going into this movie is that you want The Exorcist, or you want like a homage or some connection or a stylistic friend to the original, no, like, why would you even want that to begin with? This movie was pushed like Mission Impossible. The Mission Impossible movies are hugely successful. The latest movie had the strength of a similar scene. Whatever. Could they have done a different scene? I do think so. I really do. Because it was so similar to what they did with Mission Impossible, having those two campaigns kind of echo one another. Tough, 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 tough. But, so Universal does a huge rollout, okay? I think first two trailers, it's Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise. You get all that, and I'm fine with that because I'm a Tom Cruise guy. I wanted to go to Wizard World, Philly, just 2 weeks ago, just to get Michael Rooker's autograph for something Days of Thunder. Not that I own anything Days of Thunder, but to me, that's amazing, okay? Rowdy. So, oh, and if you love film music, film scores, the Days of Thunder score is one of the best. It's got one of the best themes too, like, just note wise. Holy crap, dude! Masterful, overlooked because everybody wants to talk about Star Wars. Look, there's other movie music. I don't know. I don't know if you people are aware of this, but there's other, like, music scores by really talented people out there other than Star Wars. Okay. Try and dig around, find a couple new things to get into. Moving on. So this movie was pushed as an action movie in my eyes, and then you had the one rollout, which I thought was great. Russell Crowe plays Dr. Jekyll. You're like, wow, okay. And look, I'm not on top of all the movie news. Mark seems to have it zapped into his brain. I don't know. uh, you know, I don't read a lot. I really do not read a lot of news, which is contrary to having a show like this, because you would kind of have to be on top of everything. But yeah, maybe not. Okay. So Mark may have had like a different perspective on it, because I don't know if stuff came out before they revealed Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll, but either way, I loved it. Masterful, fun, imaginative, experimental. Wow, okay, cool. So they are doing something. And then maybe like 2 weeks after that, they rolled out the Dark Universe logo, a shot of all the actors involved. I don't know, they don't have a Dracula announced, do they? I don't know. Very interested in that, because I guess that's their centerpiece. So it was like Russell Crowe, Javier Bardem, I can't pronounce his name. Johnny Depp, Russell Crowe, and Tom Cruise. Wonderful shot too. You know, kind of a little Victorian looking, with the hues, and even with the pose and the arrangement of the set. So, and then they roll out the Dark Universe logo. So obvious. What they did was you became aware of the movie because of Tom Cruise. They introduced to you this tidbit of, we have other characters in this movie, just like known IPs, and if you want to consider them intellectual property, because there's nothing within Dark Universe that I'm positive isn't public domain. Okay, keep that in mind. This is a multi-million-dollar public domain shared cinematic universe. Okay. And then we got this connective tissue. So the focus shifted. The focus shifted from Tom Cruise action movie with horror elements, Hellboy, so to speak, lack of a better comparison. I don't know. It shifted from that to chapter 1. And this is where people lost their shit. For some reason, it's not okay. It's not okay to say this is a chapter 1. Because everybody wants to act like they need a standalone movie. Like, the anticipation between some of these shared universe movies isn't insane. That it's despite those who hated Man of Steel, despite those who hated Suicide Squad, despite those who hated Batman vs. Superman, despite all of that, huge anticipation for Justice League. Wonder Woman doesn't crank up Justice League. It doesn't. The anticipation is already there. It's not going to go any place else. That's great. That's okay. Yeah, sign me up. I just lost. You know, I know when I go to a movie, I spend roughly $100. It's $100 a night between alcohol, food, movies, transportation, tickets, all of it. Okay, I know I said movies there. I meant to say tickets, but yeah, okay. So, from my perspective, yeah, I spent $400 on this jargon crap, and guess what? I'm still excited for Justice League. Because you know what it does? It does unlock the imagination. It really does. There's a level of anticipation and excitement that seems real. It seems real between these movies. So you can't do a chapter 1 with that type of like intent. So Hollywood's a small town. Small town. You're telling me they don't know that? You're telling me that Universal Studios, in their infinite wisdom, so infinite that their giant tower is looking over us right now, and the second one is being built right next to it. Okay? I'm talking about Comcast Universal. Okay, not that you get the point though. You're telling me that they didn't know what they had to do with this movie. That making this a chapter one movie as the intent of the movie with one of the biggest actors ever in Hollywood history helming it. You've had David Keop. You have Kurtzman. You have story guys now surrounding this. You have Kurt. Let's just roll through this because you know what? I'm not even familiar with the third writer. Okay? You have Keop McQuire, Kurtzman, Dylan Crossman, who, wow, okay. Writer actor. He played a part. He played a part in Dead Poets Society. So who is he in Dead Poets? His Wikipedia is disgusting. His Wikipedia gave me nothing. Oh, this dude, he was the redheaded dude. The redheaded guy from Dead Poets Society is the third writer of the Tom Cruise Mummy movie. Wow. Okay. And I think he's a Tom Cruise guy. Okay, so Tom Cruise got his people involved with this. Okay, so the Dark Universe is almost like a Tom Cruise helmed mega project. That's what it's unraveling to be because the other two writers the other two writers and director are all Tom Cruise people. Yeah, he's got a career. So I don't know. I mean, did they backdoor it in? And by this I mean, all right. So we look at Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3. We look at Matrix 2 and 3. Those are wonderful examples of backdooring in bigger universes. Maybe I don't know. I thought both of those were successful. People want to destroy the second Matrix movies. They even want to go after pirates. I don't know. I guess we're looking at different things. Sometimes we have different expectations. I really don't know. Both explain the mythology to a large level. Like they call it world building. That's the cool geek term. But look, I haven't seen this movie. I want to see it. I want to see it as a chapter one. What's wrong with that? I want to look forward to chapter two. Okay. I like Tom Cruise. Now just going through it with you, the movie's stacked. I want to see what those guys do. I think I have a sense that there's like a couple twists in this that people are not commenting on, and I think those twists might actually reveal it as a more of a chapter one stamp. So I don't know. Go into this movie, expect a chapter one. I'm just gonna keep saying it. The Mummy 2017 is chapter one. So yeah, and that's it. We're done with the Tom Cruise. Look, do I get a record? Do I get a cookie for Tom Cruise references? But the anticipation is it like I really don't know. People feel entitled to their anticipation to movies, unlike any other form, because they anticipate TV episodes, like they anticipate like a season or like a cliffhanger on television or streaming, and they accept it. They accept it when it's mediocre, when it doesn't live up to that anticipation. It's interesting how it plays in the psyche, like how it swirls around. That's okay. It's okay when seasons jump sharks and go off key with characters and make concessions because of maybe laziness or no imagination. That's not even laziness. It's just no imagination, no creativity, and they die and they erode, and the viewership is flatlined. So the show stays on, and it goes on and goes on and goes on, and that's okay. Like that's anticipating the next episode after you get 1 or 2 episodes of an obvious direction change or at the beginning of a corrosion. That's okay. That's great. Keep up. Keep watching your show. Talk about your show. Act fake interested to girls in bars about shows. Uh, that's me raising my hand. You can't see, but anyway. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. But a movie, and it's kind of funny that people don't have the same for books. What you put so much more time into a book, yeah, which is more disturbing. There's no anticipation for books. Like, what craziness is that? What That's it. That's the world we live in. People put all their energy in vocalizing their disappointment in movies, uh, with no self analysis and no attention to books. Uh, so, you're not entitled to a great movie when you watch a movie. There's no entitlement there. You're not entitled to be scared, to be horrified. It's all it, it's all guesswork. Sometimes they nail it though, and when they nail it, like wow, like you're so happy. You feel elated. I think when it gets nailed, and you're with like five or six people, there's such an like energy, and that's what the energy was like post Wonder Woman. Like everyone was just kind of like "Ugh," like nutting all over the place. So just let's just enjoy movies. Let's just enjoy them for what they are. Um, like that's the science of movies. That's the magic. Just sitting down and enjoying something, an effort. In the Mummies, Tom Cruise's Mummies case, here we go, another another T Cruise. Um, like potentially, like a thousand people. Watch the effort of 1,000 people unfold on screen. There's few things in life that are the representative of 1,000 people. Think about that. There's few things. You go buy a bag of Doritos. There's not thousands of people involved in your bag of Doritos, but there is in your Hollywood movie. Um, you need to unlock the wonderment. The wonderment. You need to use movies as a escape, as a brain dump. They're not a attack on you, on your intelligence. You don't come off as any more of an intellectual when you nitpick a movie. You really don't, because there's no perfect movie. Even though I feel like there's a few of them, but like Starship Troopers. If you don't sit down and watch Starship Troopers and have one of the best times of your life with alcohol and maybe pizza, maybe some food that you shouldn't even be eating or even looking at. Like you can't look at this food, you can't even look at it, but you're doing it and you're watching Starship Troopers and there's boobs and butts and everyone's good looking and there's good bodies in the movie. Okay, if you can't do that, what else are you missing out? Like in life, what are sunsets too good for you? Or sunrises too good for you? Is a bag of chips just evil? You can't even do that. I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes when I'm in Wawa or 7-Eleven, I'll just pick a random drink, like a random something, because I just want to know. I want to know what that's all about. Seven Ups have these. There's like five or six different colors slash flavors. Like, what's that all about? I grab them. I think there's like a purple one I can't find. Keep looking for it. That's what you gotta do. If that is not your objective, I really, it's scary. It's scary that they can't make movies that people just want to have fun at. You can't have fun in a movie, and they try and do it, and for some reason, it's some attack on your integrity, ego, and intelligence. It's pathetic. But hey, I got things to do today, like superficial things, like go to the gym and lift heavy things for a large period of time to make my body good. So when I take my pants off in front of a whatever, it's good. And I take the shirt off, it's good. People want to rock and roll, but let's do that. Let's rock and roll today. let's have a great weekend. Let's rock and roll. Let's just go into that wall and look into that wall, go into the room, then we look at the wall, and then we bust through that wall. Let's just punch through that wall, because there's very little right now in your life holding you back. Think about that. There's very little holding you back. What's holding you back from enjoying life and jumping into the ether of happiness is you. It's that guy in the mirror. So do something creative today. Do something creative. You don't need a gold medal, some reward to have a life of creativity. You don't. There's rewards that happen from living a creative life that are beyond any of that. So do that and have fun. And go see the 2017 Mummy and buy that expensive popcorn. Buy it, okay? Because that popcorn is expensive because you and your idiot friends download movies for free, okay? That's why that popcorn's expensive. But buy it. I got the Guardians of the Galaxy one here. One of the girls bought it for me when we went. One of the 3 times I saw that movie, and I loved it. It's like it was $30 for that in a cup. I don't care. I want it. Okay, not that I'm a collector. Some things amuse me. That amused the hell out of me because it's tin and embossed and bright colors. Anyway, look, have a good day, people. All right, make me proud. Make me proud. Let's do this. We're all in this together. Signing out. Dream Warriors. 38 is a place.